Issaquah Buzz, where we talk about all things business in Issaquah, from new restaurants to retail gossip. My name is Autumn Monahan. I work with the City of Issaquah's communications team, and I'm here with Jen Davis-Hayes, our economic development manager, and one of my favorite people to talk business gossip with. Hi, Jen. How are you today?
I am doing well. It's a sunny day we're recording here today, so looking forward to some warmer weather.
Yeah, me too. Okay, before we tune to kind of the topic of our podcast, which is working from home, and we've got a great business spotlight in Mail Clinic on Gilman, so stay tuned for that. But first, I want to get to some local business gossip. Top of my list, and what I just heard about, was a place called Timeless Tea. Everybody has to Google this just to see the other locations and to see some of the cool visuals. But these are the most amazing looking desserts. And it sounds like they're opening a location just in the Meadows shopping area. So kind of near Dough Zone in the QFC area, which I think that's going to be a great combo of having a dessert near Dough Zone after dinner.
Yes.
So they have locations in Seattle and Bellevue, and I have been looking at the menu. Have you checked it out yet?
Oh, I was looking at I thought it was just going to be like a bubble tea place, but you're right.
Yeah.
The desserts are amazing looking.
Yeah.
Did you see the one dessert that was shaped like a bulldog? It's like a chocolate mousse. It is so cute. Almost too cute to eat, but I bet you it's good too.
A lot of like personalized cakes and other really fun desserts. So a place you could stop by just for a treat, or you could do an order if you've got a big event coming up. So I'm definitely excited about that. So permits were just approved from what I hear. So they'll be starting work soon on tenant improvements.
Yeah. So soon. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye on that one. At least I am. I'll be driving by and checking it out. I've brought it up several other times. Crumble cookies. So there's one in Sammamish. We need one too. So latest sounds like they're opening in April.
Yeah, but we're hoping maybe March. So, but April it is for now, at least announced. Yeah,
and that will be up in the Issaquah Highlands.
Yes.
Right. Great. So, and oh my gosh. Dessert themes here.
Dessert. I know. I'm getting.
I know. Yeah, maybe that's the theme of this podcast is just, dessert places. No. And then, one listener did reach out to me with some news that actually I think I'd heard about through you too, Jen, is that Bed Bath & Beyond is closing. So, in that complex near Gilman, I'm sure most know where Bed Bath & Beyond is located, but it sounds like that they're closing a lot of locations throughout the area, or throughout even the country, I believe. And so not just specific to Issaquah. Right. Is that what you've heard too?
Yeah, their chain has been really struggling. And so it's more of a nationwide corporate thing. And so I actually drove by the other day and they have 40% off kind of things.
Oh.
The windows. And so they think they're going to be there through April, but they are still receiving new items in because things that were ordered or through distribution. Yeah. So, it's kind of sad to see to go. But I will tell you, I talked to the property owners or property managers rather of that complex. And while they can't say who's going to go in there next, they have a long line of people wanting to go there. And they are really going to have somebody good next. So we'll miss Bed Bath & Beyond, but be looking forward to who's coming next.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear who comes next. And I think everybody needs to go down right now for the sales too.
Yes.
At least I will be. See, especially if there's also still new product coming in, get some good deals between now and April. So that's a good tip. All right. And I just drove by Egg and Us and work has started. So that's just great news. I think we'll keep our eye on that too, to see how progress is going and when they may plan a reopening.
Yeah, that's a long time in coming, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we're excited to see that they, figured out that they're going to rebuild, and hopefully Egg and Us will be open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner soon. So more eating.
More eating. That's the theme. All right. Well, you also have a lot of news to share about stuff going on downtown.
Yeah. Gosh. So I don't know if our listeners remember, but our first podcast was with the owners of Big Picture. Yeah. They celebrated their 1-year anniversary on March 3rd. Oh, so isn't that crazy?
Yes.
So they had a special lineup, the 25th anniversary of the Big Lebowski and Everything Everywhere All at Once kind of thing. So we're so excited that they chose Issaquah to move their location, and continue to look forward to having them in our future for 25 years or more.
Yeah, they do such a great job of theming events or nights. I saw on Facebook, everybody was dressed up. There was special menu. There was a fancy cake. So anyway, they are doing a really good job of just keeping things exciting with events. So
they know how to do that. Yep,
yeah, definitely.
And then if you remember where Zen Gallery was on Front Street, so that is going to become a dog grooming place called Pickles Playland. So you're going to be able to take your dog in there and get them all cleaned up, and great service for people who are living in Old Town or out all throughout the city. So again, that's working its way through the permitting process now. So we'll probably see that in summertime. They do have some other locations. So Pickles Playland. So that's something new in downtown coming.
We're going to have to dig into the story behind that name, maybe when we celebrate their opening.
Yeah, yes, yeah. We'll have to go there and do a business spotlight video for it. And then all the other things I have to talk about downtown are food related. So Bukhara in downtown, I don't know if you noticed, it closed down for a second, and it's changing to Mahara Cuisine of India. So it's new owners, and they did a little bit of remodeling, but I understand it's back open again. So Indian food still. And the Zoom Thai, which is in the old Domino's site at Alder and Front. So that we're hoping the permits were approved towards the end of January. So hoping that will be open soon. So that'll be a great place. They are relocating from Redmond. And then this one's a new one that I don't think we mentioned before. The Great American Diner and Bar is going into Max's Cafe on Front Street next to Japan Ginger. So so we're gonna have a diner in downtown, which is really exciting. I think again, Max's, if you remember, they expanded to the space next door, and it was really quite spacious from their original one storefront. So that'll be nice to have some space to go for breakfast, lunch, dinner there. So looking forward to that coming soon. And then I did get to connect with the owners of 96 Front Street, which is Yummy Yogurt / French tea coffee. And so another place where you see paper on the windows, and they're going to keep the yogurt. Everybody's been asking, are you still going to do yogurt? Yes, they're keeping the yogurt. But they are opening things up there and kind of creating a more Parisian cafe feel is what the owner said. So he said, stay tuned. He's no more information about that. You have to come check it out. So they just closed mid-February, so I'm not sure how long their improvements are going to be. But from what I understand, it's they're kind of ripping everything out and kind of creating something new. So really excited to see what that interior looks like. And so yogurt and coffee will still be there. So
got it. Yeah, I follow them on social media, and they've been doing some progress photos along the way of some of the construction. They even took their staff out and had kind of just a night together. I think it was a dinner and event just to keep the team together as they're going through the remodel, which I thought was cool. But I'm very excited to support them once they reopen. Yeah. My goodness, there's a lot going on in Issaquah. It just feels like they're especially as we talk about all the food and restaurants and options that are coming up. It's really an exciting time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And actually, I forgot one other place, in downtown. It's a quilting store that opened next to the Dollar Tree on that side shopping center part. And they just opened the 1st, I believe. And so it's a long arm quilting. So basically, if you're doing quilts, you can, normally you're on your little sewing machine, you have to kind of feed it through. And this allows you to come in to rent or to have them do the quilting for a fee. And so they have 4 large machines. They actually moved from Cascade Business Park over on Newport. And so it is a really cool spot. They are just opening up. So they're going to have a grand opening in April. But really cool because that's part of our creative district in downtown. And I think they're going to be doing a lot of events and that type of thing. So they're right next to Capri Sellers. So you can go check them out as well.
Awesome. That's a really creative business idea.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Okay. Now that we've kind of covered gossip, the theme of our podcast this month is working from home. And, this came about as you and I are working from home right now, where we typically do our podcast virtually. This is very much the new norm for a lot of our residents here in Issaquah. I went and looked back. We do a community survey every other year. So we did one in 2021. And the results of that survey said that almost 3/4 of our residents plan to work from home at least one day a week, even after the pandemic. So there's been a massive shift of where people are working. And so when you're working from home, that's also an opportunity for us to think about, okay, what amenities, what services, what is needed as we've got this shift of our residents who were commuting every day, oftentimes, to maybe working from home and spending more time here in our community. So I think this will be kind of an interesting topic for us to dive into. To start with, I think one area that I have come to realize as I've been working from home more is just taking advantage of the outdoors and all that's available to me just right outside of my home. So we're known as Trailhead City. There's an opportunity to take a nice walk or to see a trail and do it in a really quick fashion where you can get back to work from your house.
Yeah, it's hard to remember when you're at home because you're just so used to diving in and so stopping and these things exist, but just remembering that that's so healthy for us too.
Yeah. And if you have opportunities, if you have other coworkers that live in Issaquah, why not do a walking meeting? So get outside and, still get your meeting in, but you could do it at one of our parks or trails, or even at a dog park. So making sure that you maybe check several boxes, right? Get your dog out to get some exercise, but also get some work done. I have at least found, or I don't know, it's changed a lot, I think, because of the pandemic, but a lot of our coffee shops are constantly full. Yeah. And people are having a lot more of I need to get out of the house for a minute, but I still need to have a meeting, or I need, I've still got some heads down work to do. And so I'm seeing just a whole lot of traffic at coffee shops.
Yeah. That's why I think when 96 Front Street reopens, it's going to be pretty packed as well. Yeah. So it's one of the original places of the people who have home-based businesses. That's been their office for a long time, hasn't it? So now our working from home folks are kind of figuring that out too.
Yeah. Well, and I think that also shapes kind of your perspective in economic development about what kind of businesses we want to attract or what we need more of, right? So say that we, coffee shops are kind of for, one type of work, right? Whereas we meeting up with a person or two or bringing your laptop and doing some work. But what are some good options for if you're wanting to host a team meeting where you've got a short commute here in Issaquah?
Yes, I love that idea. So we think about our teams are typically not going to be in the same town, but it's so important to get together, right? To have that connection. So, hey, easy for you to have it here at Issaquah. So visit IssaquahWA.com. So Visit Issaquah is our tourism organization, is a great resource. So they have a listing of meeting spaces of all sizes. So small meeting spaces, larger ones. They also have group activities and team building events or cool. Activities you can kind of check out and go, I want to do something fun. And they can help you arrange this stuff. So you're like, I don't have time to do that. That's what they're here to do, at no cost. So check them out. But, again, besides coffee shops, I mean, you think about, some of the restaurants have a separate area that you can meet at. So, obviously Big Picture has, you don't have to have a movie ticket to go in and use their bar or lounge area, right? And so, but Wild Fin and Enzo's and Family Entertainment Center and 55 Sunset all have separate rooms that you can reserve. So depending on the size of your team, that's good. And then there's larger venues if you want to bring, maybe your division together. So at the Fish Hatchery, have you ever been to the Watershed Center? It's right across from the viewing area. And so wouldn't that be fun? You come down there and then on your breaks, you're able to walk around the space there, see what's happening with the fish. So again, it's something that allows you to get some work done, but you're also kind of connecting with things here in Issaquah. If you're up in the Highlands, Blakely Hall, which is managed by the Issaquah Highlands Council, has a really great center that you could rent. In downtown, the Shell Station is managed by the Downtown Issaquah Association. And of course, there's like the library. And then if you want even bigger, Pickering Barn that the city owns over by Costco. So again, not even just thinking about, gosh, what do I need right now, but, plan ahead for summer and for, maybe even the holidays of what things that your team, your division, your whole company can get together here in Issaquah and really support our community. And again, like you said, a short commute for you.
Yes. I have a friend that works at Microsoft, and she was looking for more of a centralized location. Her team, it felt like Issaquah was the sweet spot for that as far as kind of the minimal commute for everyone. So she reached out and said, well, where's our meeting space in Issaquah? And I went to that website, the visitIssaquahwa.com. And started texting her some options and finally just sent her the webpage. It's great. It's a wonderful resource. And, there's other factors to think through too as you're booking. Like if you're doing it in the summer, find a place with air conditioning, right? Or some of these venues might have really cool things happening during the holidays. So yes, definitely leverage that resource here in our community if you're looking for hosting a team meeting. So speaking of space, it's just one thing that I wanted to mention. So another project I'm working on is assessing what the city hall space needs will be in the future. So that includes our police and our municipal court, which have outgrown their current spaces. So we're doing a lot of assessment of kind of what space is needed. And as part of that, we surveyed the community recently and said, well, if we're assessing space needs, what other indoor spaces does the community need? Oh my gosh, the results, huge. I mean, we had over 350 people take the survey, which is a good amount as we're doing surveys here locally. And overwhelmingly, people said they wanted more indoor space. So something that we're taking into account as we talk about that a bit more with our city council, but it's great that we have some of those private options. There's definitely a need in our community for more. So know that that's something that we're looking at and we're thinking about. So
that's good. Yeah. Yeah, because it's, as you think about it, there again, small businesses that have been at-home businesses have really kind of figured it out or trying to figure this out. It's like, what happens when you outgrow your home or you need a quiet space to meet, right? To do your work. And so, I always say like there's this ladder of like, moving up in the size of office space. So you may start in the corner of your dining room and then you clear out one bedroom and make that and your stuff stored in your garage. But there are some options in Issaquah that are really interesting. So there's the Meadow Creek Business Center. So that's over across the street from Walgreens. And so you can actually rent a desk, a conference room, an office space or more for an hour, for a week, for a month. And so again, you're able to scale that to what you need, right? So if you need it more often, it's available because again, you're not going to have people come into your house when you're meeting with somebody. It's really uncomfortable. And the coffee shops, again, if it's too crowded or you're talking about confidential information, you don't want to do that there. And then another new one that's similar to this, but on a monthly option is the Hyla Pads, which is in the John L. Scott building right on SR 900 by I-90. And so that has a shared reception, just like a Meadow Creek Business Center. And you, again, rent out space for the month. And so it's available for you for use. And again, just adds that next level of taking your business, whether it's your, at-home business or again, working from home, and it may allow you to be able to focus better and have those interactions with your clients that you need, right? And then if you're really feeling it, so the Issaquah Lofts. So that was one building that's on Gilman right by the Rainier Trail that opened at the beginning of the pandemic. And those are smaller offices, about 300 square foot. You can get multiple of those to kind of scale up. But if you go through there, that is the ultimate place of small based businesses. So you have everything. You have massage therapists. You have arts, Art East, or not Art East, sorry. Museo is there. And other artists are there. You have lawyers and lash place and beauty salons and counselors, on and on and on. So it's your own little space, locked door, and they actually have like a little cafe there now. But so you're not committing to this really large space, and you're testing out does this work for you? So that's the kind of the next step up of thinking about, places that might be good for you to check out. But even when you lived in the city, you may not realize, like, okay, gosh, I'm used to being in my office and I could make photocopies down the street, down the hallway for 1,000 copies. Like, where can I do this kind of stuff? And so, we have FedEx Kinko's, which is over in the Commons as well.
Yep.
And that I've used as well when we need something really quick and different that the city doesn't have access to. Minuteman Press is a local business as well here in Issaquah that you can get mailings, you can do getting things printed up. We have, office supply stores, the UPS store, mailboxes, et cetera, et cetera. So, these are all places that, again, if you want to get things delivered, a lot of places use like those locations, UPS store or mail clinic, to get deliveries because it's safer, right? So you don't have to worry about it sitting on your front porch. So, one of the things we're trying to learn is, what other business services do you need to work from home, to have your small business, home-based business? So we really love to hear that from our viewers. What are the other tricks of the trade you discovered? Because it really is how, I figured this out. This has helped me be more efficient, or helps me really make that extra oomph in my day. So, we're going to be planning a coffee happy hour meetup for work from home folks and at home businesses. And so to meet each other, to share that information and kind of hear about some other resources that we at the city have. It's really casual. It's not going to be, us talking at you programming, but we'll buy you a cup of coffee and be able to kind of network. So stay tuned. We're looking at the first week of April, and we'll be sure to announce it through our business e-news and in our the Insider for the city's newsletter.
That's great. It kind of melds two worlds that I think you and I both are passionate about, and that our coworkers are, right? It's serving our business community, but then also serving our residents.
Yeah.
And it's really that combo, if you think about it. So really exciting to think through kind of what synergies can happen. So all right. As we're talking through services for those that work from home, let's hear from Mail Clinic, which is our business spotlight. So they offer PO boxes, the shipping services, and then my notes say cattle dog cookies.
Yes. So my coworker told me this. So she's a love for her dogs, of course. And she says, it's the only place that sells them. They're so amazing. And not that she's eating them, but her dog.
Well, I guess we've come full circle today, and our theme around desserts, I guess, for all, right?
There you go.
All right. So let's learn more about the Mail Clinic.
The Mail Clinic's been here in Issaquah for about 40 years. We're the third owners, and we've had it for about a year and a half. Here at our store, you can come in and you can obviously have mailbox services, but we do packing, shipping. We like to think of ourselves as kind of a business center.
My role at the Mail Clinic is really to make everybody else better and to also make their job easier. I do the new projects, I do the technology changes, those types of things.
We serve all sorts of needs, and you never know what's going to come in the door, what kind of need people have, but that's what attracted us to the business. I like to solve problems.
No day is the same at the Mail Clinic. On one end, I did something like a moose antlers, which is something you don't see every day. Another large one was a chainsaw hummingbird, and it was huge, and we were able to pack that so that it didn't get damaged. What's unique about my partnership with my wife is we each are good at different things.
We're definitely a team. Okay. We offer we have complementary skills, I would say.
Kelly's, ability to master all the details and give people choices and really understand her customers and their needs.
David's really good at the technology pieces. He's kind of our more graphic designer. And he also is really good on our packing and freight. as well. So we complement each other.
That ability to each use our strengths really plays itself out, not just at home now, but actually, here at the store.
So working with the city when we bought the business was great. They really supported the business. They really saw that we needed to keep the Mayo Clinic here in Issaquah, and they wanted to maintain that and encourage it.
We could have bought a store, in any community, but we wanted it to be, in Issaquah. And the community is wonderful, and we like to be able to go home and feel like the best thing we did that day was to help that family with a will, or the best thing we did was help get that life-saving medicine to Africa.
It's been so great to get to know the Issaquah community. That really has been a lot of fun. Because we offer services that like everybody needs, we really get a nice variety of customers, and love that customer connection and getting to know the community and help out that way.
All right, so that's a wrap on our latest edition of Issaquah Buzz. Thank you so much for joining us. Join us next time to hear more about other business news here in Issaquah, and let us know if you have a favorite business or hear a rumor or something that you want us to cover, and we'll track it down. So email us at ed@issaquahwa.gov. Thanks again.
Thank you.